They cut off fuel, threatened to limit electricity exports as well, and on top of that, money for Ukraine and sanctions against Russia. Hungary is blocking European Union decisions after the suspension of Russian oil transit through Ukrainian territory. Attempts to bring Budapest to its senses have so far been unsuccessful. The European Union must use its leverage on Viktor Orban because at stake are 90 billion euros for the Ukrainian budget and military. What are these tools? Are they effective? All the details are in the following report.
Ironically, the Druzhba oil pipeline has become the cause of a new round of hostility between Kyiv and Budapest. For almost a month now, since the end of January, the supply of Russian oil to Hungary through this pipeline has been halted. The country is urgently depleting its strategic reserves of raw materials and is threatening to block a European loan for Ukraine if the transit is not restored.
Together with Brussels and the Hungarian opposition, Ukraine is resorting to blackmail. The halt of transit is an attempt to artificially provoke a price surge on the eve of the elections. We will not give in to this pressure. Until oil supplies are restored, Hungary will block the allocation of a 90 billion euro loan.
The only blackmailer in this situation is the government in Budapest, responds the Ukrainian Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And they explain the transit through the Druzhba pipeline was halted due to another Russian attack that damaged the energy infrastructure, and the unconstructive behavior of the Hungarian side only plays into the aggressor's hands.
Under the daily threat of new missile attacks, security stabilization and repair work continues. Ukraine has also proposed alternative ways to resolve the issue of supplying non-Russian oil to these countries. Ukraine has always been, is and will remain a reliable energy partner of the EU and a transit country for energy resources.
However, Prime Minister Viktor Orban and Foreign Minister Péter Szijjártó are not listening and have already blocked the supply of diesel fuel to Ukraine, as well as threatening to veto the 20th package of EU sanctions against Russia. The European Union, meanwhile, remains hopeful that Hungary will still honor its obligations, since the country voted in December to allocate funds to Kyiv. Partners once again remind us Moscow cynically uses its own energy resources as a weapon.
The more independent we are from Russian fossil fuels, the fewer situations like the one with Druzhba will occur. We assure Hungary and Slovakia that energy security is a priority for us. We are working on this every day, and Ukraine continues its repair work.
Hungary, along with Slovakia, are the only EU countries that still consume Russian energy resources and are critically dependent on them. In addition, Viktor Orban is a longtime friend of dictator Putin, but now the hostile rhetoric of Hungarian officials has intensified even further due to the upcoming elections, which could put an end to Orban's 15-year rule.
So Orban is in great need of cheap European energy resources because, in fact, it is with these vital supplies and his economic strategy that he manages to sustain the country's growth. It is clear that not only the vast personal wealth of Orban's family and his closely knit inner circle is systematically financed, but also the entire extensive shadow apparatus that works tirelessly to permanently cement and consolidate his political power within Hungary.
Viktor Orban actively manipulates the topic of Ukraine during the election campaign, spreading fake news that Hungarian taxpayers' money is supposedly being given to Kyiv, and that Budapest itself is being dragged into the war. But his main opponent, Peter Magyar, has every chance of winning. For its part, the EU has repeatedly demonstrated its ability to influence Orban or to use procedural loopholes during votes. Experts emphasize that such decisiveness from Brussels is in the interests of Europeans themselves, as it confirms their unity and principled stance. Katerina Yeliseyeva reporting Inter TV channel, United News Marathon.